Kimani is my personal horse, for those of you that don't know. She's been here, today's 12 days. So I wanted to change her training up of grooming and halter training every single day. Consistency is key, yes, but I also feel like they need breaks and different things to do. Being repetitive is a good thing, but at the same time, it can get extremely boring for the horse and for the person. So I talked with Blue Rock Horsemanship, and we're going to start round penning her today. And so what we're going to do is just push her around, and I'm just going to start teaching her the basics. So she wants to stop in a particular corner, which there's 3 spots in the round pen that she loves to stop in, because I have pushed her around a couple times when she's nipped at me or kicked out. I've shoved her off and made her work, and those are the corners she goes straight to. And then we're going to start teaching her. I always talk about how I taught Boog his go cues. So is trot and is canter, or is canter. And then backing up is and lowering his head is. Some people don't like using double cues. I do, and Boog seems to understand what all of them mean, so I don't have an issue with it. Walk, I kind of just use the word walk, because I haven't really found a cue that I like for walk. I tried, but I feel like it's too close to the kiss for trot, so I don't like to confuse the horse. So let me know, are you guys liking me doing the intro like this and then showing what we're doing, or do you guys just like me getting into the video and doing a voiceover like I have been? So when I'm teaching a horse to round pen, I don't like to just go in there and automatically chase them off. I like to check in with them and see how they are, see if they're super spooky and running away from me, wanting to get away from me as soon as I enter the pen, or if they're kind of relaxed like she is and keeping their eyes on me. So I'll advance and retreat a couple times and just love on her. So this is really good. I go to leave, and she takes a step towards me and kind of looks at me and is paying attention to me. So it's a really good sign. So here in a second, I'm going to point, walk towards, and spank the ground to teach her what the point up in the air means. It means to move off. So I'm pointing, walking. She's moving a little bit, but she's going to the fence. So I just kind of spank the ground. Here she turns and faces, kind of keeps herself sideways to me. So I just point up again, walk, and hit the ground, just to teach her that I want her to move off. And keeping her going this way. She wanted to change there. She has a habit of wanting to keep me on her right eye rather than her left, as you guys will have known if you see all of her videos up to this point. So here she wants to change. I'm going to allow it and ask, pointing, walking, spanking until she goes. I'm not hitting her, not whacking on her. I'm just making that whip louder and moving my body a little bit bigger when I'm walking up to her, because I don't want to have to whack her on the butt if I don't have to. So if she wants to slow down and walk, it's perfectly fine. The basic thing I'm trying to do right now is get her moving in the direction I want her, and when she goes into a certain pace, I will give her the cue of that pace to teach her that is what this means. She got a nice little trot. There she stopped, so I just spanked the ground and pointed. That was enough to get her out. So you can see over here where she's at right now, and then right there, and then right here is where she likes to stop. So I'm just going to keep up the pressure. I wanted her to go to a canter here, so I kind of get after her a little bit and give her the canter cue. She's kind of got, I don't know, it looks weird. Her canter looks weird to me. So once in a while, when she wants to change direction in the beginning, I will kind of just let them, and I'll give them the cue for that direction, which is just my opposite arm going up. Here she tried to change, so I just cut her off a couple times and sent her back the way I wanted her to go. So just in the beginning, I just let them kind of once in a while. I won't let them every single time, but just so that they understand what I'm asking, if that makes sense. Because they're the ones initiating going that direction. So sometimes if you kind of just give them the cues that you want them to go to that direction, that'll help them understand it better, if that makes sense. So here she's stopping in the corner. I'm just going to keep getting after her, not hitting her, just whacking the ground and kind of upping my body language and saying, nope, get your butt moving. This whole lunging session was about 12.5 minutes. There was no cuts made to it, just my voiceover and just the zooming in and out. I tried to leave the original sound in also so you could hopefully hear my cues to her. Again, if she wants to slow down and walk, I'm going to allow it. I don't want her to think when I'm in here in the center, she just has to run laps. So here's something I talk about. So I back up and she stopped and turned sideways. Perfectly fine. A lot of people don't like when they turn their butt. You know, this is the beginning stages. She doesn't really understand what I'm asking right now, so I'm going to allow it. And I will eventually teach her to turn her butt and her face in, like I do with Boog. So I'm letting her kind of process what's going on here. I'm just leaving her alone. I'm not flooding her. So here I'm asking her to go forward. And you see she went a little bit and then stopped. So I just put my hand up again and she went off. So she's already starting to understand. Pointing again because she's slowing down in that corner. Although I want her to know it's okay to slow down, I don't really want to allow her right now to slow down in those corners. Here I'm backing off, and here I like that a lot. She's turning and watching me and keeping an eye on me, keeping her ears on me, paying attention. She's not running forward when I'm walking up to her. She does step sideways a little bit, but that's okay. She's still wild. It's only been 12 days. So I just want to make sure I can walk up and love on her if I want to. And this is her right side. So her left side, and here in a second you guys will see I have some issues with, and I'll show you how I fix those issues. So here I'm just wrapping that whip around her nose, trying to get her to turn off of it, and she does a little bit, and then she kind of figures out it's not wrapped over her head. So that's okay. I go to fling the rope, and the whip, and it kind of spooks her a little bit, so I just cut her off from running, walk up, flog her with the whip, put it over her ears and around her nose to get her to turn and face me, and send her off to the left by pointing and keeping that whip beside her eye and spanking by her shoulder, and she turned really nicely. Pretty good. It's just kind of like, if they're not halter broke, that's kind of how I teach them how to turn. So, asking for the canter here. I'm having to get really loud with that whip. I don't know, her canter just looks weird. Could be because she's a baby. And yes, I know about her hooves, but we're not at the point where I can pick up her legs yet, so please don't go commenting about her hooves. So I like how she slowed down when I started to back up, and then she stopped and faced me. So I turn my back and just give her a rest. No pressure on her right now. I love how she's watching me. Now I'm talking to her, I think. I don't remember. So I'm walking up to pet her on the left side, and you can see she tries to put me in that right eye. So when they turn like that, they're just trying to get you in the eye that they're more comfortable with, and Boog had that issue too. So I'm just going to keep pressure on that right eye whenever she blocks me, and try and cut off that drive line on the left side. So blocking that right eye right there. Just going to keep up with her. There's no cuts, again, made to this video. So here, I'm going to walk up to pet her on this side. I flog her with the whip. She kind of says that's a little too much for me, and she takes off. That's okay. I'm not getting pissed off. I'm not whacking the shit out of her or anything like that. I'm just following with her and staying with her. So here she's doing pretty good. I'm flogging her with the whip. And as I try to get it a little closer, it's just, again, too much. She tries to block me with this right eye. Crack the whip on the right eye. Not on it, but on that side. She's going to run off a little bit. That's okay. I'm just going to keep up with her. Here she is again, blocking me with that right eye. I'm just going to crack the whip on that side of her body. On the ground. So horses have a good side and a bad side. So obviously her bad side is her left side. So I'm just going to keep correcting her. Here I get a bit of an advantage. She goes to drink some water, which I'm happy that she's comfortable enough to just go take a drink of water when I'm in there with her, whenever she's thirsty. So I'm loving on her with the whip while she's drinking. But it gets funny here in a second. She lifts her head and realizes I'm on her left side. And she kind of spooks and takes off a little bit. I don't get mad at her. I don't whack on her for it. Right here, she just realized where I'm at. So I'm cracking the whip on that right eye, on the ground. So here, she stopped. And I was just trying to get that eye against the fence and get her to stop. But she just wouldn't do it. So I'm just kind of following with her, staying with her. Here's where she does the lap. And right up here in this corner by you guys, I'm able to cut off that drive line. She's licking and chewing, breathing hard, got water dripping from her mouth from her drink. And I'm just loving on her with the whip, making sure she's not going to be super flighty and jumpy. And then when she shows me she's good, I'm just going to love on her. Here's the funny thing right here. When I walk away, just to show her, all I wanted to do was walk up on that side. She looks at me and licks and chews like, holy crap. That's all you wanted? That's all you wanted, human? Eventually she'll get better. Boog, it took about a week of this, but I'm not going to do, you know, tons and tons and tons of round penning with her. I'm going to just switch it up between round penning, grooming, and halter training right now. So I'm asking her to go. She goes off pretty nice. So there, she's slowing down and stopping. I'm going to get after her a little bit. Send her off. Keep her moving. Now I know I'm not the best. I don't always keep my arm up like I'm supposed to. That's just a habit I need to get into. My position's not the best. I'm working on myself. I'm not a professional. If you made it this far in the video, comment Cracker Jack. So there, she's slowing down in the corner, so I'm just going to crack the ground, point, ask her to keep going. There, she's thought about turning and going the other way, so I just put more pressure on her to keep her moving. So here, I step out and back, and then I walk up and pet her. And that's kind of how I get her to stop. Eventually, I'll just be able to say, whoa. So that was her full session. And here's just me giving her some scratches. And then I decided that would be enough. But I don't leave when she's fidgeting like that. I wait until she's quiet. And then I exit. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.